Dear learners, welcome to class. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, cost. What is a cost? Money spent by a firm on inputs used for the production of a commodity. It's called a cost. Yes, so money spent on factors of production, we'll be calling it as a cost. So cost, which is equals to your rent plus wages plus normal profit, we are calling it as a cost. So in today's class, we are going to start with meaning of cost. Yes, in that meaning of cost, you'll be learning about what is explicit cost and what is implicit cost, and what is the cost function and what is short-run cost. Let's see the first learning objectives for the cost chapter. First, we'll be learning about meaning of cost, and then in that you'll be learning about what is the implicit cost and explicit cost, and what is the cost function. Yes, and then we will be learning about what is short-run cost and average cost, and at the last marginal cost. Let's see first what is the meaning of cost. Cost is nothing but is a money spent by a firm for what? On inputs used for the production of a commodity. So for a commodity, it has to be producing in it, we need various kinds of inputs, isn't it? So that firm, what they're doing in it, they have spent money for what? For buying all kind of inputs which used for the production of a commodity. So the money which spent on 4 factors of production, you're calling it as a cost. The 4 factors of production like land, labor, capital, organization. When we spend money on all this, we are calling it as a cost. So the cost which is equals to your rent plus wages, interest and normal profit. We are calling it as cost. Cost is a sum total of implicit cost and explicit cost. Let's start with what is the implicit cost. What is implicit cost? It is the value of input owned by the firm. Yes, and the firm did not make any payment for this input. We are calling it as a implicit cost. See, for example of implicit cost, interest on owned capital, rent on owned land, salary for the service of entrepreneur. Okay, for all these things we need to pay anything, isn't it? That is the value of inputs which owned by the firm itself. So need not make any payment for these inputs. Okay, so we are calling it as a implicit cost. So such cost or the cost of self-supplied factors. Now coming to explicit cost. What is the explicit cost? It is the amount paid by a firm on the inputs hired or purchased for the production of a good. We are calling it as an explicit cost. See, an example of explicit cost are wages paid to the employees and payment for raw materials, etc., which comes under an explicit cost. Yes, because it's actual money expenditure on inputs, okay, or paying made to the outsider. For what? For hiring their factor services. That's what I've said to you with an example of wages paid to the employees or payment for raw materials. We'll be calling it as an explicit cost. Okay, so this is implicit cost and this is explicit cost. Let's see now what is a cost function. Cost function, it is the functional relationship between cost output. Yes, so C is equal to function of Q. So C is nothing but cost and Q is output. So that's what it is, a functional relationship between cost and output. C is equals to F of Q. C is nothing but cost and Q stands for output. Short run total cost, it's divided into 2. One is total fixed cost and other one is total variable cost. Now we are going to see what is total fixed cost. Total fixed cost, or else we'll be calling it as a fixed cost, FC. What is the total fixed cost? See, in the short run, some factors of production, I've said you already, in the short run, some factors of production such as land, building, machinery cannot be changed. Yes, so expenditure on these factors, it's called a fixed cost. Yes. So that's what. And the fixed cost remains constant at all levels of output, including 0. Yes. See, example of total fixed cost: rent on building, interest on loan, insurance premium, etc. Yes, these are the example of total fixed cost. So, in this total fixed cost, there is nothing but the cost which do not vary directly with the level of output. Yes, so in this, that's what I've said you. An example I've said you already: rent of premises, salary for a permanent staff, insurance premium. All these are example for the total fixed cost. So this fixed cost which will incur on the fixed factors like machinery, building, land, etc., which cannot be changed in the short run. Yes, so the payment to this factor remains fixed irrespective of whatever may be the level of output. That is, the fixed cost will be remain the same whether the output is large, small or 0. Yes, that's what we are calling it as a fixed cost. Yes, now let's see with an example. Suppose if you start a furniture business of making wooden chair. Okay, you hire a shop at a monthly rent of 4,000 and take a loan of 1 lakh from bank. That is 1% of interest per month. Now, your monthly total fixed cost will be 5,000. That is 4,000 as a rent and 1,000 as a monthly interest as a loan. Okay, that is 1% of 1 lakh. You'll have to pay 5,000 per month irrespective of the number of chair produced. Whether you're producing more number of chair or in a less quantity, okay, or less number of chair or a 0, whatever may be. Isn't it? You have to pay 5,000 per month. Okay, that's what I've said you already. Total fixed cost, that is nothing but in the short run, some factors of production such as land, building, machinery cannot be changed. Yes, an expenditure on these factors, it's called a fixed cost. So the fixed cost remain the constant at all the level of output including 0. We'll see with the schedule, yes, with the table as well as with the diagram explanation. Total fixed cost schedule, we'll see with the schedule as well as with the diagram. In the output, the first column which denotes about the output, second column it's total fixed cost, isn't it? Now, I think you can able to see the output from 0 to 5. Okay, and total fixed cost is constant. Okay, that's what I've said you. Fixed cost remain constant. Okay, at all levels of output, including 0. So, when output is 0, total fixed cost is 15. When output is 1, total fixed cost is 15, isn't it? So, that's what the fixed cost remain constant at all levels of output, including 0. Yes. Now, coming back to the diagram explanation. In the diagram, it was very clear. X-axis denotes output, Y-axis denotes cost. Okay, total fixed cost curve, okay, total fixed cost starts from Y-axis. Okay, so it shows that there is a fixed cost even at 0 level of output. Yes, so I'm repeating again. Total fixed cost will start from Y-axis. Okay, it shows that there is a fixed cost even at 0 level of output. Okay, and then it is a horizontal straight line which is parallel to the X-axis. So this line, we are calling it as a horizontal straight line which is parallel to the X-axis. Okay, it shows that fixed cost is constant at all levels of output. Okay, so this is how the explanation for total fixed cost, schedule as well as with the diagram explanation. Let's move on to total variable cost. Let's see first what is a total variable cost. The firm can increase its output. How they can increase their output? By changing some factors, example like raw materials, labors. So they are called as a variable factors. So expenditures on this variable factors, it's called as a variable cost. Okay, and it is 0 at 0 level of output. When output is 0, total variable cost also 0. Okay, when output increases, the total variable cost also will be increases. Okay, now I think you can able to see the schedule. Output, the first column which denotes about output, the second column which denotes about total variable cost. When output is 0, total variable cost also 0. When output increases from 0 to 1, total variable cost also will be increases from 0 to 6. If it increases from 2 to 3, 15, 4 to 5, 36. Yes, now just look at the diagram, everyone. Total variable cost curve starts from the origin. Okay, because when variable cost is 0, yes, at 0 level of output. When output is 0, total variable cost is 0. That's why the total variable cost starts from the origin. Okay, now, and the TVC curve is a S-shaped curve. Yes, it is because the variable cost initially increases at an increases at a diminishing rate. Okay, that is, the firm is an increasing return. Later, it increases at an increasing rate. The firm is in diminishing returns. That's why it's a S-shaped total variable cost. Let us quickly recall what we studied in this session. First, we have started with the cost. We have started with the meaning of cost. Yes, and we have discussed about what is an explicit cost and what is an implicit cost. And what is a cost function and short run cost, isn't it? That is total fixed cost and total variable cost. And next class, we'll see about what is the total cost and average cost, marginal cost. Thank you.